So our next speaker is Jamie Sunken from Nearpod. And Jamie, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and then we'll wait for you to share yours, and then you can begin.
Awesome. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Can everyone see my screen okay?
Looks great. Thank you so much.
Okay, perfect. So again, my name is Jamie Sunken. I'm the regional sales manager for both Flocabulary and Nearpod across all districts in Wisconsin. I know that many schools in Wisconsin actually currently purchase Flocabulary, so that was what I really wanted to focus on today, which is what you're seeing on my screen right now. And then if we have time, I want to quickly hop into Nearpod and show you a little bit about what Nearpod has to offer too. For those of you who are unfamiliar already, of course, Nearpod and Flocabulary are both student engagement platforms. Nearpod more of like lesson delivery for like engaging activities and interactive activities, whereas Flocabulary is more about the hip hop piece and the videos. So what we saw at Nearpod is that we really needed to incorporate hip hop and music into our learning platform, and that was where Flocabulary came into place. So instead of just talking about it, I want to actually show you a video so you can see what it really is all about. And so what I'll do is I'll go into one of my videos that's about setting, and I can play it for you, and you get a feel for it, and then I'll go in and keep explaining. But let me know if you can't hear this video. Can you hear it okay?
I'm not catching any audio. We can see the video moving, but not hear the audio.
Okay, what about now?
Yes, we hear that.
Where are we? Huh? I'm sitting, leaning, living, breathing, thinking about the book that I finished reading. I dug the characters and liked the plot. Was anything else important? Probably not. Wait, what about the setting? The setting is the one I'm always forgetting. It gives us the where and the when, but it's mostly in the background. Know what I'm saying? Actually, maybe not. The setting might be more important than I thought. Here's the character, his name is Todd, and here's some action that's a part of the plot. Todd clenched his jaw, he was sweating. Now how could that be informed by the setting? Well, let's say he's on a track at a race, shooting fur, he's running, trying for first place. But what if we switch up the setting? There might be a different reason Todd is sweating. Say he's in class, sitting at a desk, you might infer schoolwork's causing him stress. Or what if he was on a ship going down? Fear is the reason he's sweating now. Yep.
So I'm not going to go ahead and play the whole video just for the sake of time, but essentially we have lessons for English, language arts, science, social studies, math, even social emotional learning and financial literacy, trying to keep up with 21st century learning. And all of our lessons are aligned to standards and include lyrics, as you saw across the video, so your students can read along. But essentially what it does, it just makes it a really exciting way for your students to learn and understand what it is your teachers are teaching. So for example, let's say you're trying to teach about 9th grade algebra and you're having a hard time getting your students, really interested and engaged. Showing this video might be a way to get them excited about it using one of our math videos. Taking it a step further, I can turn on discussion mode as a teacher. And then what I'll do is be able to skip along to the questions. So what's one reason that the setting of a story can be important, for example? And then my students would be able to go ahead and respond to these interactive questions along the video.
Here's the character, his name.
And then I can just go ahead and skip next and keep going on to the different questions that are here. Separately, something to note, we have teacher resources. It shows you what grade levels this video is going to be recommended for and the different vocab terms within the video. And then, of course, all the activities are going to be printable. So let's say you're switching between in-person, distance, and hybrid learning. You can switch back and forth between using it on Chromebooks, iPads, any type of device any web browser will work on. Or you can just print out these activities. And then lastly, go into the standards alignment and see here what the standard is actually, what it is aligned to. Once you've gone ahead and watched the video, you'll see on the below area here, we have vocab cards, vocab game, read and respond, quiz, and lyric lab. So all of these activities will be included in all the lessons that you see here. My favorite personally is the lyric lab, the last one. You can use it as a fun sort of exit ticket. So I'm going to go ahead and skip to the lyric lab. But essentially, It's when students would be able to create their own rap or rhyme, and they can pick a beat, for example. Let's say I wanted to do this exploring beat, and then I can start using the vocab words I see here and pick the rhymes that go along with it. So as you see here, what I've been doing is just using these little vocab words that I see here highlighted, which again, I would have learned about in the vocab cards and vocab game activity. And then as a fun exit ticket or for homework, perhaps, you can have the students begin to rap. So what I'll do is start rapping for you. The character is the main conflict. What is the context, you ask? I am in the plot. I'm going to take a quick shot here and infer the rest. Let's put it to the test. So essentially what you can do when you're done with the rap is I can, let's say I wanted to assign it out to one of my classes or go in and just choose individual students. Maybe if I want to do personalized learning, I would go ahead. I can choose if I want to assign them the video, the vocab cards, the quiz, lyric lab, make it visible, let's say tomorrow, and pick a due date perhaps of next week. And then I can go ahead and create that assignment. And so my student will go ahead and get this activity. And so that's sort of how I would assign the lessons out. And then once I've done that, I can go back into my Flocabulary homepage, go into my class, and let's say I wanted to see what the data looks like. So let's say this 50 states and capitals assignment, I can go in, or this Katherine Johnson in human computers, this looks like it was completed by all my students. I can go in and view this, and I can get all the data from the students that completed this activity. So I can see the percentage that they got, what they got on the quiz, for example, and then I can go into an individual review or even a comprehension analysis to see what my students understood at a holistic view versus what I might need to focus a little bit more on. So that's a little bit about how Flocabulary works. Pretty straightforward and simple. As I mentioned earlier, we have language arts, math, science, social studies, and then also life skills if you wanted to do racial and social justice, social emotional learning, health and wellness, financial literacy. And we have videos for all of these different pieces. And then, of course, keeping it culturally relevant, we also have current events. So making sure we keep up with each month and what's going on that month. For example, for February, we had a Black History Month contest, and students were able to submit their own, create and submit their own responses and create their own raps. And luckily, a few of them are going to actually end up being featured within some of our lessons on our homepage. I know we have just about 5 or so minutes left here, so I want to quickly just hop into Nearpod for a second and show you. This is the Nearpod platform. Again, it's the platform that acquired Flocabulary, and it makes it more of a two-way street of communication. And you'll see you can always get the Flocabulary videos right over here. And this is where the integration comes into play. You'll see all the videos alongside here. A lot of schools like to purchase both products just because it makes it so you can have the lyric lab and some of those other fun activities I mentioned. But there are schools due to budget that just choose to do the Nearpod platform and add the Flocabulary video pack purchase as well. I know we don't have so much time here, but essentially what you can do with Nearpod is launch synchronous or asynchronous lessons. So let's say I wanted to do a lesson for my students and get their responses in real time. I would go ahead and launch a live lesson. I can send it out through Google Classroom, Schoology, Canvas, whatever it may be, or just get my students to join in with a code. And then once I'm in the lesson, I would go ahead and be controlling the pace of this lesson. You'll see we have a Flocabulary video right over here. And my students would be able to play along and read along. And then so once I would include these activities, for example, a collaborate board, a quiz, poll, draw it, you name it, you'll sort of find it within Nearpod. My students would respond to these questions, and I would be getting their responses in real time. As I'm demonstrating here, Google Safe Search to put an image on. Love Shark Tank. I'll go ahead and use the Shark Tank image. And then again, I would be getting all of those responses in real time, whether it's a vocabulary matching activity, a draw it tool, a quiz, so on and so forth. And then this little icon on the left-hand side over here would show me who's in my lesson. So of course, no students have actively joined in just yet, but this is how I would get that list of who's joined. And then at the end of the lesson, I can choose to open whiteboards if I want to make it more collaborative, add activities on the fly, or I can go back into my reports and see all the data at the end of the lesson. So I can go into my reports on the left-hand side, and what I would do is be able to get all the post-session reports and see exactly how my students performed. So I can go into the date of the lesson, see all my students' names here. And again, same way we saw in Flocabulary, their responses coming up here, so I don't lose any of that access. So in a nutshell, I know that was really, really brief and quick, but in a nutshell, that is what Nearpod and Flocabulary is all about. Just trying to make your lives easier for your teachers, for your students, and for your admin, of course, getting that admin oversight and being able to communicate and teach, whether you're in the classroom, remote, or hybrid. And so again, would be happy to discuss further if anyone wanted to connect afterwards and do like an actual live demonstration where I can show you in depth Nearpod or Flocabulary. I would be happy to get that scheduled for you.
Thank you so much, Jamie. What a cool product. I just love the innovation that we're seeing now and new ways of teaching and learning. I can only imagine that given the way schooling has been going this year, that a lot of people are finding a great deal of utility in tools like this. Would you say that's true?
Oh, definitely. So many teachers and principals come to us after they take a look at our platform and end up purchasing it, just saying how grateful they are that we've provided this product and tool for them, just because it really makes their lives easier and gets the students engaged, which is the most important.
Well, that's fantastic. I'll agree with Karen in the chat. It looks amazing, and I can only imagine that this is going to continue to be a really valuable tool for teachers and schools all over the place.
Yeah.
So for sure, we will, as I've said, we will make sure to put in touch anyone who wants to know more about the resources, wants to see a demo or get pricing or anything. We'll be in touch with you, Jamie.
Awesome. That would be great. And I just posted my email address in the chat. I'm sure you have it, but just in case, I posted it in there. But yeah, I definitely look forward to hearing from you guys and helping schools out continuing down the road.
Thank you so much.